What's going on, moms and dads? Week 8 recap here on the Fade U Pod. Monday Night Football kicks off in about 20 minutes, so we're going to hammer out this recap of Week 8, and we're going to see what happens with the Bengals and the Browns. My name is Matthew James, here with Joe from Las Vegas or Paris, or I don't know. It doesn't matter. Dad looking good.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, out here in Las Vegas. I'll be here till Saturday, most likely. So if there's anybody that's listening and near Vegas, hit me up. Slide in the DMs. Let's grab a beer.
Hit up Joe. He's on Twitter at Joe_knows____. He's in Vegas. He'll be there all week. And he's a pretty damn good time, if I do say so myself. And he's looking hot in Vegas. Now, who's looking not hot right now is Chris Duke. You decided to dress up like an idiot. It is Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone, if you enjoy that sort of thing. Chris Duke clearly does because he's dressed up like a fucking pirate. What do you want us to call you, Chris? Since you're dressed like not yourself, what do you want us to call you?
Professor Sparrow.
Professor? It would be captain there, guy.
No, this is a university, Joseph. We're professors of the sports betting
I guess so.
nature.
Wow. I hope this is like the one time I hope we actually have people watching. Although they might take one look at Chris and be like, "Yeah, I'm not here for this. My World Series game got postponed. It's Halloween, and now I get this idiot dressed like a pirate." Hey, how are your Kings looking? Smell it, Mr. Professor Poop Smelly Line. I bet you they're losing.
Yeah.
Down by 10 in the first half. Yep, that sounds
Shocker.
about right. Shout out Turtle Sports. Kings do Kings things. So enjoy that.
That line opened at 1.5, went up to 3.5. Sometimes, like we say, sharp sides lose too, Dad.
Sometimes when you bet poop, the Sacramento Kings exist. So there you go. All right, but we're going to talk about Week 8. So does anybody want to complain about one of their losses from yesterday?
Yeah, man, I think all the vanilla gorilla good juju from the first 7 weeks came fucking crashing down this week. I mean, fuck, dude. We went 1-4. 3 of those L's, I wouldn't say were bad luck L's, but just fucking find ourselves on the wrong side of a coin flip. And that's how it goes sometimes. We could have easily been 3-2, snuck on through, but no, we suffer our first losing week of the fucking season. And we go 1-4.
What's the one you would chalk up to just a bad pick? What's the one that was not a coin flip?
Jets. Patriots.
Yeah.
Jets. That was a Jared special. Fucking fired the Jets. I internally wanted the Patriots, but I didn't want to be a dick to Jared because he liked it. So I trust the dad, and I've trusted him throughout the season, and he's come through time and time again. Yet this time, it was just a bad pick, and it happens, man.
So Cardinals, Colts, and Lions, those were one-score games in the fourth quarter, all of them, and they all land tails for you.
Right, dude. I mean, the Lions, 27 points in the first half, 0 in the second half, lose the cover by the hook. That's pretty fucking disgusting, but Lion's gonna lion, right? So you can't really complain too bad about that. It is what it is. Right, and then the Colts just shitting on themselves, fucking giving up a game-winning touchdown with 20 seconds left. Prior to that, they're covering, and we're good to go. Nope, they let fucking Heineke pull his Heineke cock out and score. 20 seconds left and end it for everybody. That was on Colts.
That also was a Frank Reich kicking his for losers moment. Didn't they have a 4th and 1? Could have pulled his cock out, give it back to the I was going to say Redskins, the whatever they're called, and they go down and score. That's fucked up. That definitely could have went your way. Yeah, the fucking Lions go touchdown, field goal, 27 points. They only get the ball 3 times in the second half, go punt, out on downs. Fucking assholes. We could have – I was hoping – Campbell's got too big of a cock. I was hoping he'd kick the field goal, make it a one-score game, but I watched that whole game. They could not get off the field on defense. He knew – he was declining penalties just so they wouldn't get extra downs. It was disgusting. He was like, it would be like 3rd and 20. He's like, nope. Or 2nd and 20. He'd be like, nope, give him 3rd and 7. I do it because they just fucking waddle. I mean, what did Waddle?
That's nothing new. I mean, fuck, the Lions have the worst defense in the NFL.
Yeah, so that hurt. I mean, to not even get through, all they needed was a field goal or a safety in the second half, and you covered.
Or make a stop.
Yeah,
and we're good to go. But I shout out. I was texting Matt about this earlier. Shout out the Ham Pod with Middlecoff. He fucking said that Dan Campbell, the Lions should let Dan Campbell coach 3.5 quarters every game, and then bring in like a closer coach. Then the fucking Lions would be like 5-2 or whatever. Let Dan Campbell do 80% of the game or 75% of the game, and then let fucking a closer come in.
Yeah, he in that first half was great. They did a fake punt, and so instead of giving it back again, he did not want Miami with the ball. They got the first down, ended up getting 3 if they would have got the touchdown instead of 3. So yeah, he did definitely. That first half was, man, they were unstoppable. But like you said, Joe, Lions did what they do, and yet look at the line this week.
Yeah, what the Lions what they don't need, so they need to pick themselves off the mat. With the Lions, the worst thing the Lions could have going into next week is like a team on a really big losing streak that needs a slump buster. Oh shit, they play Green Bay.
And Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, is he any good against the NFC North in his career? Anyone know?
Yeah, he's pretty decent.
Just okay.
Extremely decent. All you gotta do is lay 3 this week, Matt.
Jeez, I guess we can talk about the Packers game. Some people thought that would be the kitchen sink game, like they're gonna. I mean, where else do they go? They've lost so many in a row, all as big favorites. Now they're a fat underdog. I don't know how they covered that spread for Christopher and myself to get us a win in the contest, losing by 10. Is this a get right spot for Green Bay going up against a shitty team that they have always had a lot of success with? Or is that just a demoralizing, like we tried everything against the Bills and we still lost? I mean, is Green Bay still vulnerable here, or is this a get right spot for them? What do you guys think?
I think it's a get right spot. I don't think losing to the Bills by 10 is anything to be super upset about. They've proven that they're probably the best team in the NFL right now. Packers know that. Going to Buffalo, that's a tough spot anyways. Glad they covered the spread for you guys and got Kelly's best bet of the week, which is awesome. So I'm happy for you guys, and I bet Green Bay too at 10.5, and I was happy to get that little hook.
I guess I'll complain about Arizona. Joe, you and I were on the Cardinals.
Yeah,
Cardinals going to Cardinal. What we were just talking before we started recording, how they get the Kirk fumble. Kirk giveth and Kirk taketh sometimes. And they get the fumble, they go score, they take the lead, give it right back. Minnesota goes right back down the field. You just hate to see it. Cardinals typically excel as a road dog. We talked about that on the preview pod, and they don't get it done for us. So, I mean, what do you do with Minnesota? Are you selling Minnesota? They're 6-1 somehow, but I don't think anybody thinks they're all that great.
Yeah, they're 6-1, but they're like 2-5 ATS or 3-4.
I think they were 2-4. I think they're 3-4 ATS now after covering yesterday.
I don't know, man. If it's not prime time, I guess you can get them a look. But if it's prime time, you know what to do.
Well, they're going to play Washington next week, who's on their own kind of covering streak, arguably overachieving right now. That's a tough one.
Oh, man. Washington pisses me off because we've had them or faded them, I think, 5 times, and we're 2-3, I believe.
They lose when you're on them, and they cover when you're against them.
They covered twice in a row, and then this week I said, Jared, we're hopping off the fucking train. I think they're going to die. And that's why my favorite play of the weekend was the fucking Colts, because I was in Indianapolis last week. And, dude, yeah, they should have covered, but they, like I said earlier, they gave up the coochie with 20 seconds left. Why couldn't they do that? Why couldn't the Commanders do that on that 3-week thing where they fucking Wentz threw a pick on the 1-yard line? If he doesn't do that in that 3-week challenge, we go 13-2 and win $50K. So fuck the goddamn Commanders.
Because Wentz,
I'm kind of upset with them.
Yeah, maybe Joe will be avoiding Commanders games for the foreseeable future until further notice.
Dude, I'm not gonna let anything not be bet. I will just find where there's the most value, irregardless.
Irregardless. Chris, give me a takeaway from yesterday. I know I'm going to give Chris some shit real quick. Chris is blowing up the group yesterday, texting himself literally all day. And then I scroll back through and I see Chris calling the Niners an L in the first quarter. So Chris making fun of the Niners for being soft, and he's on the fucking Niners, and then the soft ass Rams show up in the second half, exactly what we thought they were. So good job, Chris, calling that one a loser in the first quarter.
I had to do something to get a win in that fucking contest after the Lions did what they did. Isn't it unbelievable? The two teams we're talking about jumping off, the Lions and the Commanders next week, host the Vikings and the Packers that we were talking about, and they're both smelly ass plus 3.5. It's unbelievable. They just, like Joe said, we want to be done with them, but then if we can't be done with them,
just can't quit them.
We just can't quit this poop. The stench.
Dude, wherever there's value, man, it doesn't matter what fucking emblem's on the helmet. If there's value there, I'll fire it. Fuck it.
Right. Well, I saw 3.5 on the Lions last night, and then I see 3. So I'm like, so that line's going down. You think, oh, maybe I'll get 4. No, the line comes that way, and they want to make it even harder on you. Yeah. So my stinker yesterday, what was our we had the Lions in the early one, and then we had Texans was just dead. I mean, they scored. They picked off Willis. It looked good. They got 3. I was hoping they get 7. And then they scored garbage to make it look closer than it was. But that was never a game. They let, I think Henry had 2,050 yards by himself. And it was just, Mills couldn't. They had like 60 yards in the fourth quarter of offense. It was disgusting. Thought it was a sharp, division home dog, and it was just a dud. So and now they're 13-point home dogs to the Eagles. So
that was my only W of the fucking weekend, and I sent Jared 2 locks, Colts and Titans. So I was happy to get I was hoping we were gonna get Colts and fucking Titans, at least go 2 and 3, but Colts defense had other plans. But the Titans definitely pulled their cocks out, especially D. Henry, who's had approximately 900 yards rushing every game against that division foe.
What did Willis throw it, like 9 times?
Didn't even watch the game. I watched the scoreboard, and I was like, well, we're okay over here.
Yeah, just hand it to the big dog. So, so that, Chris, chalk that one up as sometimes when you bet poop, you get whatever the fuck the Houston Texans are. They're, now 13-point dogs. I mean, what the fuck chance do they have against Philly? That's going to be a 90% public ticket on Eagles for sure.
Let's not forget, young Matthew, last season, the Texans lost to the Bills 9-6, so anything can happen.
Fuck. If you say so, Dad. I don't know. That is a train that I'm not particularly inclined to step in front of. I'm sure Chris will be on Houston one way or another on Thursday.
He'll push out at the last second. He'll be like, "Oh, I love it," and then not fire it like the Colts and Chiefs.
All week he'll talk about how he loves the side and then not end up playing it on Thursday.
And then say it's his on Wednesday. Fire it.
What do you want?
Okay, how about the Raiders? Trying to remember if has any other team been shut out this season, or is this the first one?
Did the Raiders play a fucking football game yesterday?
Allegedly showed up to play a football game in New Orleans.
Shit.
They would have been better if they played just a 50-yard field, and then they might have been able to be good. I don't think they crossed the 50 till the 2-minute warning.
When Stidham was in the game.
Christ.
Anybody else get? I feel like I'm missing someone. Did someone else get shut out this season?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember?
Fuck, it was like week 2 or 3.
Early, yeah.
Shit, I can't remember, but I mean, do the Raiders play next week, or are they on bye? They just came off a bye, so then, God, what an embarrassing show! And come off a bye, you get shut out.
Colts Dad to the Jags, remember?
Oh fuck! I think you.
So the Raiders, the Raiders actually they were on their bye 2 weeks ago. They beat Houston at home. Dad, you were on them.
Oh yeah,
You were on the Raiders against the Texans, and then
That's
they go
right.
get shut out. And now they're still on the road. They're going to Jacksonville, who, I mean, a lot of people would argue that Jacksonville's due too. Jacksonville, I mean, how many leads have they blown in the fourth quarter where just like weird shit goes against them? They lose to fucking Hackett in London. So that's going to be a tough. I mean, you're inclined to bet on the team off the shutout loss, right? But Jacksonville's also kind of due. That's a weird game. I don't know what to do with that.
I can't believe that. I'm looking at the bet percentage right now. Almost 70% of tickets are on the Raiders. Who's lining up to fire the road fave Raiders right now?
It's got to just be people that are just totally off the Jags.
Next time the Colts got shut out, what'd they do the next week? Beat the fucking Chiefs.
That's it. We snap called Colts against Chiefs instantly.
That's
right.
I would say there's about an 87% chance that Raiders find their way into the Vanilla Gorilla contest this week.
It's going to be low. I mean, you're going to hear a lot of narratives about the Raiders as a road favorite, Carr as a favorite, just horrific numbers ATS. But maybe this is the bet on spot after I mean, that's the worst, arguably the worst any team has looked all season, is that effort, quote unquote, yesterday in New Orleans. New Orleans, interesting, by the way. That's the best they've looked. And they're going to host Monday Night Football against the Ravens. Interesting that the team that played Thursday plays the next Monday. So that's like extra. That's about as much rest as you can have without having a bye. Lamar, much better numbers on the road. So it's second straight primetime game for Lamar. Saints, home dog on Monday Night Football. Anybody going to be able to get behind Andy? I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves.
The maroon water pistol.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
I don't know.
Weird interconference.
Ravens just made that trade for Roquan Big Dick Smith too. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's tough, Matthew James. It's tough.
Saints are dead, but not dead in that division, Chris, to make the playoffs. If you can ever walk again, we got a Pachanga bet on that.
Aren't they like tied for first?
Falcons are 4-4 since they won in overtime.
So
Saints are 3-5.
Okay, yeah, one back. Fuck it.
Dead, not dead. Yeah,
not dead at all. I say it's still very much alive.
Matt might win that bet by shitty division default.
They might go 8-9, and I win that bet.
That would be fucking
to make the playoffs, but not go over the win total. Chris will be like, "Our bet was on the win total, right?"
Fucking, he will do anything to weasel his way out of that.
Well, he might not be able to walk.
I'd love to take you to Pachanga, my lad, since you only showed up for the drunken debauchery of the bachelor party, and that's
right. I missed the golf. Speaking of dead team, is there any team that either of you is feeling like that's a dead team? I'm not touching them after 8 weeks now.
No.
I mean, I think there's spots like this week I might not touch the Jags because it's a pick 'em, but like if I see the Jags catching like a stinky like 2.5 or 3.5, then I'll probably do it. But I don't think there's any, like Joe said, we don't bet on teams. We bet on, value. We try to find, we don't, this year is too, beautiful parity. It's not like that year where the Browns were like fucking 3-14 against the spread. You literally could just fade them. This year seems like these teams are trying to, scrap some.
Speaking of the devil, they have that motherfucking elf on the middle of the field again.
Oh, yeah, I can't really see the game, so we got to wrap this cock piece up. So
we got to wrap this up real quick. Joe told me before we started recording, he said he's made one bet for week 9, and he wanted me to guess what it was, and I don't know. Chris, any guess as to the bet Joe's made? I was gonna guess Washington, but now that we've talked about that one, I'm not so sure.
Not Washington. It is a side though.
That's a side. I don't know. Is he doubling down? The one that caught my eye was the Colts +6. It looks like it's down to 5.5. But
nope.
Dead number, right?
Dead number.
I actually don't know what to do with that game because I'm still kind of like hyped on the Patriots. Because other than the one fucking game that that we needed for 5-0. They've been great other than that. And then they beat the shit out of the Jets yesterday. Fucking what's his face? The MILF hunter was fucking seeing ghosts, or maybe seeing non-MILFs.
Yeah, he looked like Darnold.
He looked like a fucking idiot is what he looked like. And then, but all right, so side already fired, and this will probably, I mean, fuck, dude. I'd fired Bucks -2. Got a little early. Now it's 3 already. I think, again, yeah, the Bucks dead, but the Rams
more dead.
More dead.
Pretty dead. I think, like, I just think that this is a matchup I really like because I think the Bucks will just get after fucking Staffy, make him throw 2 to 3 picks, and cover that spread at home. I mean, at some point, Tom Brady has to get right. I mean,
I think it's 6 in a row non-covers for the Bucks.
Yes.
People are going to remember the playoff game, and they're going to be like, "Ooh, McVay had his way with them." But I think
that's
very different Rams team, and very different Bucks team, to be fair too. So maybe more on that one. More on that one Wednesday. But that's interesting, Dad. I kind of like that early take. So, all right, happy Halloween, everybody! Shout out Neil doing actual dad things. It sounds like the last thing I would ever want to do personally. Take kids trick or treating on Halloween, but to each their own. And shout out Kmart, who is also tied up in Halloween bullshit. So, Chris, are you taking yourself trick or treating?
Yes, for alcohol.
Yeah. Okay. Well, enjoy that. Anyway, God.
Cheers.
All right. I don't even know what to say. Chris the pirate. All right. We'll talk to everybody later this week.
Later,
Go Browns.
Bet poop.